Yeah.
Better fans. I look like a home good. Yes. I think you go with my man. I had a lot. I had one to say, huh? I don't know if I'm gonna say anything now. I didn't get about it. Wait, it is heated.
For this industry.
I'll be sure. You told. Oh, okay.
Man, you hate me. So good, hey. Something for you. Yeah. Okay.
If you got a problem, let me know and I'll look with my phone. So that's worst case.
Okay. I can see it, but just take it down, bring it up. Things happen, man. Don't be so. Things happen. You ready? You ready, Kim?
Yes. Ready, yes.
Again, I want to thank everybody for being here tonight. I like to, before we get started, I'd like to apologize for the heat. And just to make sure everyone is aware, this is the last meeting we have at this site. So again, as we move, hopefully we'll have air conditioning at the new site, okay? All right. But again, I would like to call the order of the Fairfield County Council regular meeting to order, Winsboro, South Carolina, Monday, June 13th, 2022, 6:00 p.m. Can we get approval of the agenda?
So move, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposers, nay. Let the record show that the agenda has been approved. Invocation by Councilman Roseborough.
Bow your heads. Heavenly Father, we want to thank you for all your blessings. We want to thank you for allowing us to come together as a council. Help us do what's right for the people of Fairfield County. All these blessings I ask in your son, Jesus Christ's name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. Item 4, approval of minutes. Can we get a motion?
So move, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
Okay, and we're gonna accept this as being for both set of minutes. Any discussion? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposers, nay. Let the record show the minutes been approved. Public presentations, none. First public comment section, Dr. Roberts.
Thank you, Mr. Chair and members of council. Fairfield County government welcomes public input during appropriate times at county council meetings. Such input will be allowed in the time, place, and manner determined by the chair of the county council as the presiding officer. Persons wishing to speak must conduct themselves in the following manner: sign up at the appropriate time to speak, should refrain from engaging in conduct or speech that seeks to disrupt or disturb the meeting, must respect the time limit for the public comments, and must refrain from personal attacks or personal statements about any individual or individuals. Such statements are disruptive because this part of our meeting is not conducive for such exchanges between individuals. As stated, speakers are expected to express themselves within the time, place, and manner previously described. Any violation will result in a warning from the chair of county council or the presiding officer. Any failure to heed the warning of the chair or presiding officer will result in the violating speaker forfeiting their opportunity to finish speaking or to speak during the remainder of the meeting. Council welcomes the comments from members of the public and asks for the cooperation of everyone to allow for the orderly conduct of the people's business. Several persons signed up to speak. The first, Peter Gainey.
Before you start, sir, one of the things we don't have, normally we have the minutes over here, but that's, went down during the, power surge. So what we're gonna do is, Ms. Roberts, can you, she'll raise her hand when you got 3 minutes, okay?
I'll be short and sweet.
Okay.
Again, my name is Peter Gainey. I'm a resident of Gum Springs Road. My wife and I, my family, we've been here for 15 years, Fairfield County. We moved from Northeast Columbia, if y'all are familiar with that area, the Sand Hills area, because of the growth. When we were leaving there, they were just opening up that Sand Hills facility, and we were absolutely blessed to be able to find the tract of land that we now live on Gum Springs Road. In 15 years, I haven't seen too many neighbors pop up, but I've had a few, and we've enjoyed our stay there. We left behind a noisy subdivision. We have a new home, and we needed to move because of mental health. We intended to retire, garden, raise our hounds in a very small town, provided with all the essentials we needed for retirement. It's a perfect place for our needs. I'm asking you to please vote no for this request of rezoning. It's right across the street from where I live. My home is the first home on Gum Springs Road. So I see the traffic, what would go through there. And here's a number of reasons to consider that no vote. There are so many other tracts of land closer to the interstate that is available for this kind of growth and build. The zoning is already there. The Planning Commission send their voice to your consideration. There is not really a need to have that type of zoning right there next to residential, when so many other places are available. What is the real advantage of disrupting voting citizens and property when adequate industrial property already exists? This time, let the decision be for the residents, not for business. Give us the reason to stay. Give me a reason not to move. Please allow us to live our lives in peace in Simpson on Gum Springs Road as contributing members of Fairfield County. Isn't the county already accommodating business growth and adequate industrial parks? Allow us the same considerations to attract more residents. Isn't it better to harbor the kinds of residents you know as good stewards for more than 10 years and hope that a business would do the same? I'm part of a group of citizens willing to stay here longer than most businesses have stayed here. Maintain our loyalty. Do the right thing for fellow residents. Vote against the rezoning request. Thank you very much.
Pelham Lyles.
Hoping there was a fan up here. Be hot too, like everybody. I'm Pelham Lyles, and I own property on 2623 State Highway 34 East. Simpson and the Gum Spring area residents are concerned that speculative spot zoning as being proposed in this first rezoning request tonight can result in unplanned and undesirable growth. Rezoning to industrial development status is incompatible with the surrounding rural, agricultural, and residential development uses that the group here represents. Property owners should have a reasonable expectation that existing land uses will not change and negatively impact their property. The development of planned industrial parks should restrict the location of industry other than residential and agro-industry uses in our rural or natural resource areas, like 34. The county's current RD1 zoning classification provides inadequate land use controls to protect our county from undesirable development. Approving this speculative request, the county could open up this area to a wide range of undesirable industrial uses. The county's comprehensive planning should encourage sustainable, community-based economic development, supporting ecotourism, natural resources, cultural heritage, rural lifestyle, and integrated tourism as local economic activities. Instead, we fear that the present comprehensive plan for the county, as designating 34 as the industrial corridor, means that large mega industry could eclipse the existing community resources and peoples. A friend of mine wrote, Chester and Richland counties have more than one industrial classification to control the potential proliferation of such undesirable uses. Until these changes are made in Fairfield County, we run the risk of becoming the dumping ground of the Midlands and will only attract the industries that are rejected by neighboring counties. Cultural tourism and ecotourism should be wisely developed in our locale as an economic development potential. 34 between Ridgeway and Winsboro should be promoted as the scenic route between 77 and the two largest towns. Both towns are designated historic sites, and many places along the route were identified for the proposed route of the Piedmont Gateway State Scenic Byway, being developed by representatives of the State Department of Transportation and the State Scenic Byway Steering Committee. From town to town, there are 11 miles, 9 to Winsboro and 2.3 to Ridgeway from the exit ramp. The road width is tightly. Okay, thank you.
Donita Harris.
Dear County Council members, I have lived in the Simpson community since 1994. As a small farmer, I have raised dairy goats, taught horseback riding, and presently raise honeybees. As a riding instructor, many students have come to Fairfield County over the years from Richland, Kershaw, and Lexington counties. Almost every student has remarked and appreciated the beauty of Fairfield County. Until traveling through, they never realized the wonderful resources we have. Did you know that Simpson is the highest point in Fairfield County? There is plenty of fresh, clean air and water. I have grave concerns that this wonderful community will face drastic and unhealthy changes if an industrial site is allowed on this property. Will we have such clean air then? Doubtful. Simpson is a wonderful community that surrounds this 400 acres, and some of us have been here for many, many generations. Actually, my property was once the Elkins homestead, which dates back to the 1800s. The Elkins family cemetery is still located on the property in question for rezoning approval. I'm asking that this property not be rezoned industrial. This area has so much potential, and if you look up recent home sales, you'll find it interesting that this area has become popular for second homes, retirement homes, vacation homes for folks from all over the United States. Fairfield County has a lot to offer besides industrial, commercial, and manufacturing. People want to live here. They want to live here. They want a vacation here and invest in this area for the rest of their lives. Thank you for your consideration and the opportunity to speak today. Industries have come and gone frequently in Fairfield County, but the people and the community remain. Please remember those of us remaining and striving to live good lives here. I hope that I'm one of those that remain for many, many more years. May my roots and that of my neighbors continue to grow deep and prosper in the Simpson community. Thank you for letting me speak.
Margaret Branham.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman.
I'm good, ma'am. Can we take the mic down for her so she?
I can can speak loud enough.
Okay.
My name is Margaret Spring. Graduated high school, graduated college. Yep. I think he would have a great job. Thank you so much. But we have that. Here. Don't have my family, right there in the open. They that have been here 6 generations. We have worked in Fairfield. We have paid our dues in Fairfield. Oh,
I'm not quite sure. I don't understand the spelling. Is it Mildred? Or last name begins with a B? Michael, is that
Yeah, Michael.
Mike? Okay.
Good afternoon. My name is Michael Brownham. I'm married to this lovely lady, and we got married 37 years ago. So we built our house on that property. And her dad, Jesse Lee Douglas, used to work for town of Winsboro, gas, water, and sewer department for over 40 years. And he was instrumental in maintaining the water, gas, water, and sewer for this whole county from the town of Winsboro, which the county gets water and sewer from. My problem with this is over 15, 20 years ago, the reservoir started going dry, had a big drought situation. So guess what Jesse did? Jesse found out situations to go to other resources. The first thing he come up with was the quarry. Two quarries out there, full of water. It was private landowner. Guess what? Made an agreement with the town of Winsboro, pump water out until 2 years ago. 2 years ago, they were pumping out a quarry for the reservoir to supply water to the reservoir. 2 years ago, they got a water line to Broad River, correct? Hey, I think my notes is good. Right now, resources in Fairfield County are slim or none. Right now, capacity of water in town of Winsboro providing water to county people in the area, in industries, the town of Winsboro can produce 3 million gallons a day of water at this point. Maximum, they can produce 4 million gallons of water for all industries here or currently associated with, or future. So therefore, I think we need to focus our views on, y'all are talking about the big plans of the wastewater treatment plant on I-77 for big industries from the corridor of 77, north and south, big corridor. We already got over 1,000 acres sitting, probably 4,000 acres sitting right now. County council, the county owns over 1,000 acres right now that are undeveloped. Why do we need more development if we don't have the resources to provide water and sewer for that? Our wastewater treatment plant is max capacity. I don't have the numbers on that. I failed to get the numbers. I wish I had the numbers right now in front of me. But right now, town of Winsboro wastewater cannot process any more wastewater through their facilities. So therefore, it tells me that we're overstepping our bounds in Fairfield County Council. My time's up.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Is there a Josh?
John?
John? There we- Thank you. Yes, sir.
How y'all doing? My name is John Tanner, and I have a new address on Devil's Racetrack. It's 937 Devil's Racetrack. I'm kin to the Brownhams, and I'm kin to the family that had owned a farm on Devil's Racetrack. I am moving up here from Columbia. I grew up on Devil's Racetrack. I moved there in 1963 with my parents. Then I went away to college. I've retired out of law enforcement, 39 years with SLED, and now I'm moving back home. Okay. Not long ago, the property in question, the lady was timbering, or who I think it's the lady owns it. I don't know. I've never met her. She could be in this room. I don't know. And every day I was up there clearing my lot, logging trucks going up down the road. Even the docking station came down that road. I was trying to drive my tractor across the road. I had to dodge the trucks. On Devil's Racetrack, you have, the other day there was a couple women walking. There's a man who walks his dog down the Devil's Racetrack. So you got people out in the road and children on bikes. Okay. What's going to happen when an industrial, say, whatever site she puts there, a truck is going down Devil's Racetrack and it hits a child? Okay. If they have a product that's got to go on 321, they're going to go down Devil's Racetrack, a ride on Peach, 321. That's going to be their route. I know that. You know, Simpson's such a quiet community. Like I say, I grew up there. It's never been an issue. There's a lot of older people. There's a lot of young people, a lot of poor people, and probably some people who got some money. I'm moving up there for the peace and quiet. My parents still live there. They're in their 80s. They want peace and quiet. They don't want to hear tractor trailers going up and down the road. And that's what you're going to probably have if this is allowed to go industrial. You know, and let's speak of that. You got an industrial park on 77. I rode through it. You got one factory in there. And I've learned from the last meeting that whoever designed the sewage system ought to be fired because it can't hold no more. That's what I was told. So you got all this property and you can't put any more industries in there. And then y'all have some property, I think I was told the county purchased at Devil's Racetrack in East Peach for future development for industrial park. Well, why did you and that was going to be the overflow. Well, fill up what you got first, then start filling in the overflow. Then if you need some more, then I would kind of agree with it. But right now you don't need it. And I'm moving home. I want to live here and I want to die here, live my golden years here. And I have a feeling that if y'all allow this to go industrial, I know I'm not going to move. It's my family land. It's where I grew up. But my years won't be quiet and peaceful. I fear it's going to disrupt the community. I just ask y'all, please look out for the people that live here. I understand this lady who owns this land lives in Blythewood. I don't know. But she don't live here. We do. And we begging y'all, please don't disrupt this community. Thank you for your time.
Randy Bright.
Randy Bright, Ridgeway, District 1. Really can't add a whole lot to what the preceding speakers mentioned. I don't think we have our priorities right. For a long time in this county, we've gone after industry, but then a lot of people that work there don't live here. We've got to focus on making this place better to live, not worse. We don't need more industry potential. We need to develop what we have as far as people potential right now. We need to look at why was this zoned to begin with? And I see nothing in the agenda and nothing in the perspectives that say what it's going to be. Is it going to benefit the people that live here? Is it going to benefit the former landowner who I think now lives in Germany? Are we looking out after Germans instead of Fairfield County residents? I don't even know how this got to the first reading, quite frankly. It should never have gotten to this point. It's a no-brainer. Let's look out for the citizens who live here. I think you guys realize by not focusing, and it's not just this group, I understand that, by not focusing on making Fairfield a better place to live, we lost 3,000 residents from the last sentence. We were one of the few counties
in this entire state to lose population. We've got to focus on making this a place to live, not running people off their land that they've been happy to live for. It was rezoned for a purpose. We have plenty of industrial property at this time that we need to focus on. We've got so much to focus on that let's just leave this alone and let these people live their lives and let the rest of the county uphold its tradition of being a beautiful county instead of one that's a wreck for people that live elsewhere. Thank you.
No one else signed up to speak, Mr. Chair.
Thank you all for speaking. Item 7, public hearing, an ordinance to establish the millage rate for Fairfield County for the fiscal year beginning July 1, 2022. It is now 6:24. So I open this public hearing. Do we have anyone to speak? Dr. Roberts?
Yes, sir, Mr. Chair. One person signed up to speak, Randy Bright.
Randy Bright, Ridgeway, District 1. This is an important time to remind everybody in this room, TV land, newspapers, whatever. The county has, at last figures, the highest, if not the highest, revenue per capita in the county. And that was figured before the 3,000 or 12% population loss from census to census. We don't need to raise any millage. We don't need more income. I rarely hear, if ever, how we can run a more effective and efficient government so that we don't have to raise millage. We don't have to raise taxes. Let's run a more effective, efficient, cost-friendly, waste-friendly, or waste-preventive government. Raising revenue is not the answer. Like I said, we already have, at least at one point, the highest revenue per capita in the state. May change a little bit from the last figures, but if anything, it's going to be even worse. So that factor being said, instead of burdening us all with more millage, let's help us all with a more effective government. And I don't hear any improvements coming in out of any of the meetings, even during the budget session. All I heard was cut. I didn't hear anybody say, well, let's do things more efficiently. Let's follow this process. Let's do this. Let's ask the employees how we can do better. Didn't hear that once. So here we are with a millage proposal. Maybe you do, maybe you don't raise it. It should be a no-brainer not to raise it. But it gives me an opportunity to remind us we need to focus on running a more efficient, effective, and less costly government. And we didn't see that during the budget process, except willy-nilly cuts. Except for the council. We didn't cut their budget. We didn't make them more efficient and effective. We'd made them more costly. So millage rate reminds us all, let's not run a costly government. Let's run an efficient government, and let's not raise the taxes on the rest of the citizens bearing the burden of our inefficient government. Thank you.
Thank you. One of the things, just as a reminder, realizing that many of you have had certain passions around the zoning, we allow for the clapping. Normally in council chambers, we don't do the clapping and that kind of stuff. But because there was so much passion, we let that go. But as the speakers speak, we don't normally clap, okay? Thank you very much. And we're down to 8. Okay, we now close the public hearing at 6:28. Number 8, ordinance, resolution, and orders. First reading by title only. Ordinance number 795, ordinance to consider the request to amend the Fairfield County Land Management Ordinance to 599 and the related zoning map provide for the zoning reclassification from RD1 Rural Residential District to I1 Industrial District for 392.49 acres of undeveloped property indicated as tax map number 165-00-01-016-000, owned by Gum Springs LLC.
Motion to approve first reading, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
Okay, it's moved in second, because it's first reading, title only. No discussion. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposers, nay. Okay, would you please raise your hand so I can see who the nays are? Okay, thank you. Let the record show 5-2. Item B, third and final reading, ordinance number 794. An ordinance to establish the millage rate for the Fairfield County for the fiscal year beginning July 1, 2022.
Motion to approve, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
It's been moved in second. Any discussion?
Yes, sir. Can you have Mr. Whitaker or Ms. Bass to go over the millage rate? I think it was some confusion in the community that the council was raising the millage rate. So if Ms. Bass or Mr. Whitaker can kind of discuss that, please.
Good evening. The only change in the millage rate is 1/2 mil for the library, for the operation of the Fairfield County Library. Otherwise, it's I don't have a sheet in front of me, but we were able to reduce the millage to debt service and put it into general operating, but the only change in total millage is the 1/2 mil for the library.
Can you tell the public what that translates into in dollar amount?
I don't have my sheet and I didn't bring that. Okay. So previously, the millage for debt service was 10.4. That has been reduced to 8.9. And those mills were moved up to the general fund. The millage rate, I think, for about the last 6 years has been 181.6, I believe. So it
0.8, I think.
181.8, okay? So it is increasing only to 182.3, which is the 1/2 mil for the library. The other change just moved them from one fund to another, if that makes sense.
Still didn't get an estimated dollar amount that it would amount to. What?
I can't hear you, Ms. Green.
She said an estimated dollar amount that it would cost to, like, per household on raising the library millage.
Well, the average, 1 mil on an average $100,000 house equates to about $4. So of course it varies based on the value of your house and what that assessment is. But for an average $100,000 house, a 1/2 mil would be about a $2 increase in your tax bill.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Any more discussion? All in favor, aye. Opposers, nay. Let the record show 7-0. Item C, resolution number 2022-03. A resolution approving the addition of the town of Ridgeway, South Carolina to the Fairfield Joint Water and Sewage System, South Carolina, and other matters thereto.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
It's been moved in second. Any discussion? Mr. Robinson.
Is Ridgeway bearing any of the financial cost of AWTC?
Not yet. Okay, this resolution here doesn't even talk about that. This resolution is to is to add Ridgeway as a part of the part of the joint water system.
Maybe I should have reworded that or any preparations for that, but we'll talk about it later.
Okay. Any other discussion? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposers, nay. Let the record show 7-0. Item D, resolution number 2022-04 to approve the modification to an intergovernment agreement, Fairfield County Detention Center and the United States Marshal Service, Prisoners Operation Division, and a government agreements branch.
So move, Mr. Chairman. Okay.
It's been moved in second. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposers? Let the record show 7-0. Item E, resolution number 2022-05 to transfer unexpended funds from the 2021-2022 fiscal year budget and an operating account currently in the amount of $190,597 to a general capital improvements account effective June 30th, 2022. Except that the current amount may be reduced by outstanding invoices received and paid on or before June 29th, 2022.
So move, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
It's been moved in second. Any discussion?
Chairman Bill.
Yes.
All right, so this money we're moving, I'm aware that I think $11,000 has came out for the repaving of a mini park in Mitford. Also, I think, because I want to make sure I understand what the total receipts are, that we bought 3 picnic tables for Rufus Belton Park for $700 a piece. So that would be $2,100 that's coming out as well. Also, Willie Robinson Park, a survey had to be done because the third base sign was actually on somebody else's property. Do you know how much that survey cost?
Mr. Whitaker, can you answer Mr. Paul's
I
question?
do not know how much the survey cost, but you are correct about the other expenses, I believe, coming out of this account.
What bothers me with this is we're taking this money and we're giving employees $600 bonuses, but we're buying $700 picnic tables. That goes to say what we see about employees in Fairfield County. You know, the animal shelter right now, I think we have animals up there at 85 degrees, if not 90 degrees now. You know, I make a motion that we take some of this money to move it toward the animal shelter to get some kind of air services up there to provide air for those animals. We're spending it on everything else in Fairfield County, but where our priorities need to be, we're not spending it in Fairfield County. So I think we need to move some of this money to take care of that as well.
I second that motion.
I'm sorry, the motion is not for, if you look at the resolution, is to transfer unexpended funds for 2021-22 fiscal year budget in the operating account. It is not for, what are you saying? If it's not referenced to that, you can't even have an amended motion.
Well, do we have an idea of what, because I named some of them, but what the receipts are? I'm aware that it's a musical playground also going to Rufus Belton Park. Do we know how much that musical playground?
Yeah, we can get you the invoices on all that. And I think one of the purposes is dry power lights. That's what we're trying to do with some of this money. So we're just.
You want to speak in the mic, Mr. Whitaker?
Yes, sir. That it is, this is one of the solutions to the issue around the dry park lights, but we can get you numbers on anything that has come out of this account.
And one of the
Safety
things,
and improvement of the parks.
yes, sir. And one of the things we do is if you talk about the picnic tables at Rufus Belton Park, for instance, those picnic tables were down there rotten. Mr. Whitaker got pictures. We've got pictures. They was rotten. So do we want to have parks that people can't use? And that is the question. Okay, and understand that, you know, I guess I don't want to talk further. It's just,
Yeah.
I'll try to understand.
Get you the numbers.
what I'm trying to do.
So, Mr. Whitaker, what does other council members need to do if they want to spend some of this money?
Make the request.
Make a request to you. All right.
Make the request.
Any other discussion? And one of the purpose here too, and I thought, Mr. Whitaker, is what we done with this resolution is trying to make sure we had the funding to repair the Georgia Park lights, because that money will be in operating expenses versus capital.
Right.
So we talked to everybody, trying to understand how we can do this and have the money to support that. So this resolution is designed to make sure we have money to repair the lights at Georgia Park. That's what it's designed to do. And in case we have some other minor repairs to be done, for the sake of this county and to keep our parks and other equipment in safe operating condition, that's why this resolution come before you today. And the other pieces is, as we look at these parks, and these parks, I rode up there to the park in Mifflin. When that, okay, kids out there playing with holes in the
Asphalt.
in the asphalt. I mean, come on, give me a break. All in favor, let it be known by aye. Opposed is nay. Let the record show 7-0. Board and commission minutes, information only, none. Board and commission appointments, disability and special needs, Rebecca Swearinger, District 7.
Make a motion that, Becker,
Can you talk in the mic?
I make a motion that, this position be accepted.
I second.
It's moved in second. Any discussion? All in favor, let it be known by aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Let the record show 7-0. Old business none, new business none. Down to the county administrator report, Mr. Whitaker.
Thank you. Is Lee Tant here? Thank you. Mr. Tant is the Public Affairs Manager for Cooperative Health, and he is here to share an overview and report to Fairfield County.
Hey, good evening, Chairman Bell, members of County Council, and citizens in Fairfield County. I'm Lee Tant, Public Affairs Manager for Cooperative Health, and joining me tonight is a daughter of Fairfield County, Ms. Jennifer Glover Hawkins, our Director of Public Relations. So we just wanted to come tonight to provide you with a brief update about what we're doing in the community. So we're a federally qualified health center serving more than 57,000 patients annually across 4 Midlands counties: Lexington, Richland, Newberry, and of course, Fairfield. And we operate 31 clinical sites across the Midlands. We take great pride in our mission to provide accessible, compassionate, and high-quality health care services in the spirit of the Good Samaritan. What makes us truly unique is we serve everyone who walks through our doors, regardless of their ability to pay or insurance status. And for our uninsured patients, we offer what is known as the Good Samaritan program, which is a sliding fee scale where those patients will pay only a nominal fee for services. So our payer mix is also unique. About 45% of our patients are Medicaid, 23% are uninsured, another 11% are Medicaid, and 21% are privately insured. The number of privately insured patients, I think, really speaks to the level, the quality that our providers deliver for our patients. And we offer more than just primary care. We provide pediatric services for children, adults, and teenagers for ages 0 to 19. We offer adult primary care as well. We have women's health and OBGYN services, dental, which is based out of our Ridgeway site. And for patients in Fairfield County that need podiatry services, we can refer them to our podiatrist in Columbia. And also, we're working with local partners here in Fairfield County to bring those services here directly to the citizens. And one of the biggest pushes we've had recently is to integrate behavioral health services within our clinical sites. And as you've all seen on the news, mental health is very much a concern that's on the rise among many constituents. So we often want to bring those services to the citizens of Fairfield County. And also we offer pharmacy services. Now we don't have an on-site pharmacy here in Fairfield County at any of our sites, but we do offer convenient pickup and delivery options for our patients. So we improve our population health by reducing instances of chronic illnesses, inappropriate ER hospitalizations, and long-term hospitalizations. So I just want to tell you a little bit about the 3 clinical sites, and also we offer a school-based site at McCory Liston School of Technology. Our first site in Fairfield County is Lake Monticello Family Practice, and that's a comprehensive practice that covers patients of all ages. And that's at 9017 SC Highway 215 in Jenkinsville, and that site served over 11,000 patients last year. Our Ridgeway Pediatrics Family and Dental Practice on 755 US Highway 21 South serviced almost 1,900 patients last year. And that offers all the gamut from, kids 1 to 95 we serve. And we also offer dental services at that site as well. And our last clinical-based site is at Winsboro Pediatric and Family Practice right here in Winsboro at 1136 Kincaid Bridge Road in Winsboro, and that serviced nearly 1,800 patients last year. So collectively, Cooperative Health served the citizens of Fairfield County about 4,800 patients last year alone. And we're very happy to have a presence here in the community and be able to serve the citizens here. And I'll be happy to answer any questions you might have.
Any council member got any questions? I certainly want to thank you all for all the work you do. You mentioned Ridgeway 1,900 patients served, so that's really good for our community as we try to represent them. But you look at all the work you did across this county, it's substantial. And again, we appreciate all what you do for our communities. And again, thank you for it. And thank you all. I have an opportunity to talk to you from time to time. So I want to thank you for caring.
Well, thank you very much, Chairman Bell.
Definitely. We too thank you for all the, not only just other support that you give us, but the financial support that we've been receiving from you as well. So we do appreciate the county backing us and to provide quality health care to the citizens of Fairfield County. Again, so thank you.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you. Next, we want to talk about our MUSC meet and greet. Administration firmly believes that county government has a role to play in supporting better health outcomes in the community. And to that effect, on June 8th, MUSC Fairfield Emergency and Imaging hosted a tour, meet and greet, and planning meeting with administration and our chair and vice chair. Our goal was to understand all available services, partnership opportunities, and to discuss possible health fair sometime in the future. I think we left that meeting understanding that MUSC wants to support the county goals and wants to regularly engage the county leadership to understand and support the healthcare needs of the citizens. So it's a great start to a partnership. Anything, Ms. Green, Chairman Bell, y'all want to say about the meeting?
Ms. Green?
No.
Okay. It was a very good, productive meeting, and the networking, the camaraderie was really good. But we did make some requests of them,
right,
and they are willing to meet those needs and those requests. So again, we thank them for doing that.
Okay, thank you.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
As a board member of the MUSC, I was unaware of the fact that you had agreed to meet.
Okay.
Was that an oversight or?
No, I just decided to invite the chair and the vice chair. I didn't know. When you say an oversight, tell me what you mean by that.
I mean,
I didn't invite the full council.
I'm saying that I'm on the board.
Okay.
To see.
And we can arrange a tour for all council member. Okay, I didn't know that at the time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was not an oversight. It was just, and it really was for me to engage with them, and I wanted to bring the chair and the vice chair. And like I said,
When was that meeting held?
June the 8th. So no malintent, no disrespect, just I brought my team and we met with those folks. So in future. Yes, sir. A tour of the facility. All right. The next subject is the South Carolina Infrastructure Investment Program. So I want to talk first about the opportunity. The South Carolina Infrastructure Investment Program, SCIP, is a major one-time initiative to improve water, wastewater, and stormwater systems throughout the state using federal funds allocated by the 2021 American Rescue Plan Act, ARPA. SCIP offers a unique opportunity to make long-term capital improvements that will strengthen critical services to residents and businesses across the state, create more resilient communities, and improve the capacity to support major future opportunities for growth and economic development. In order to achieve the maximum impact, the Rural Infrastructure Authority will divide these funds to help large utilities that serve the most people and smaller systems that struggle to raise the capital needed to modernize outdated infrastructure. They are incentivizing regional partnerships where feasible to resolve the viability concerns of smaller systems and encourage other partnerships that create lasting solutions for communities. Funding will include about $100 million for special economic development projects as designated by the South Carolina Department of Commerce. So Fairfield County's response. Our project is in partnership with the town of Winsboro and Ridgeway. We're considering participating in a regionalization project called the Line Project. I think we have a map. I'm going to describe the Line Project to you all. The Commerce Center part, and you can see with the green line, component of the Line Project will consist of sewer transmission lines, pump stations, pump station upgrades, and appurtenances as necessary to connect Commerce Park and the surrounding area to the Winsboro plant. I don't know if you can see that. The Ridgeway project consists of the Line Project will connect the town of Ridgeway sewer collection system to the infrastructure comprising the Commerce Park project, which will ultimately allow Ridgeway's sewer connection system to transmit wastewater to the Joint Systems Plan wastewater treatment plant. And this is really important. All components of the Line project will be designed and sized to be incorporated into the new plant project in order to ultimately transport wastewater from customers Winsboro to the Joint Systems new plant project. So this is all connected to what we're trying to do with our wastewater treatment plant. And I just want to share a little bit about the cost. The parties will coordinate and cooperate to submit one or more applications to the Rural Infrastructure Authority or other funding authorities for grants to fund the Line project through the South Carolina Infrastructure Investment Program. Fairfield County will pay the cost to plan, engineer, and permit the Line project using settlement funds, all of which will be considered costs of the new plant project. Fairfield County will also pay any matching funds for the Line project that may be required under the South Carolina Infrastructure Investment Program, which will also be paid from funds received from the Dominion settlement. I think this is very exciting and great news for the county. And there's been a lot of work that has gone into that. So I think I want to thank our attorneys. We had great representation from Mr. Walt Carton and Parker Poe, who's worked very closely with the town of Winsboro, Ridgeway, and the joint water sewer system. I want to thank our economic development staff for their hard work. And most important, our council leaders who's been involved in this project. Ms. Green, for your committee leadership. Mr. Roseborough, for your development expertise and engagement with our attorneys. And Chairman Bell, who provided leadership and guidance during the design and location meeting with our vendor, and a critical work to support and encourage the town of Ridgeway to consider joining the joint system and the Line project. These were critical problem-solving conversations that moved us down the road. So this is good news, and I'll keep you abreast about the steps. But we're working hard. This is going to be a good project for Fairfield County. Any questions?
any way we could, request a waiver and not pay the match?
I mean, we can talk about that. I don't know.
Right. This is not the line down 321. This is the wastewater treatment line.
No, the wastewater treatment line is the line in I guess it's, what is that, fuchsia? The line that we're talking about is the yellow line and the
Blue line.
and the light blue line.
Okay.
Yeah. Anybody
request a waiver and
okay.
And I'm not going to ask her to speak, but since she's here, Representative McDaniel has been doing a lot of work trying to help us in an effort so we don't have to match, because small and rural areas a lot of times don't have the money. Now, one of the things, it puts us in a better position where we have the resources to do it because of the Dominion settlement. But she's been working very diligently trying to make sure we don't have to come up with a match. So again, I want to thank her for her efforts since she's here. But we're prepared to do both. We're prepared for the match, and we're prepared in case we don't have to do that. And again, I want to thank everyone for this piece of
A lot of work been going on.
Yeah.
All right. My next topic is an update on the comprehensive plan. And I'm going to read an update from Gregory Spouse from the COG, who's our project lead, along with Mr. Steins, our staff person. It says, we are currently working on the land use element of the plan and have a work session with the Planning Commission scheduled for June 23rd to get input on the future land use map. We're also working on finalizing the other required elements of the plan, and I hope to have a working draft ready by the Planning Commission meeting next month. And I want to give you some idea of the work that these two gentlemen have been doing. The community survey, we had 320 responses. Work sessions, they have been conducted with the Planning Commission, 3 work sessions to date. Stakeholders, through emails and conversation, they have engaged the town of Winsboro, Ridgeway. Mr. Harrison with Ridgeway has been actively involved and working on the strategic plan for Ridgeway. And Mr. Steins is saying he intends to engage Jenkinsville, Mr. Clausen, and Mr. Taylor in this work. Regional planning, of course, Mr. Sprouse has been going to the Council of Governments and working with the other alliances, the I-77 plan. So all of this work is coming together and should be finishing up in the next few months. If we, put a few extra steps in to do more community engagement, because our community engagement has not been effective as we have wanted to do, then we're talking about September. Any questions?
No questions. Thank you, Mr. Whitaker.
I got a question. I mean, you through with the transportation committee part?
Oh,
Okay.
no, you want a question of the, okay. The Transportation Committee. All right, I'm gonna read a statement about from the folks who attended. On May 26, 2022, the Fairfield County Transportation Committee approved $100,000 towards the engineering design work to replace Maggie Harris Bridge. Fairfield County Public Works Director Jonathan Burrows presented information about the needs to replace 5 damaged bridges on county roads. And now funding the engineering work to replace the bridge will allow the county to further pursue grant funding towards bridge construction. Deputy County Administrator Williams also attended a meeting and gave a presentation on Fairfield County infrastructure needs, focusing on the wastewater treatment plant, improving access to drinking water, expanding broadband, and addressing road and bridge concerns. Any more on that?
Any questions? Okay, thank you, Mr. Whitaker. 14, clerk to council
I
report.
got something for Mr. Whitaker.
Is it concerning these A, B, C, D, or E?
Yes, I mean, I can ask Mr. Whitaker a question. So Mr. Whitaker, I'm gonna make this short.
Okay.
In your contract, I think it states that you had to have residents within 180 days.
You can bring that up during county council time. It's not related to A, B, C, or D.
It's not on the agenda.
Okay, all right. I got another question about a receipt from the other day.
Sure.
Again, a receipt for one of these items, A, B, C, D, or E?
Yeah,
For
Yeah,
which one did
I'm assuming that's what it's for. Can you tell me on the MUSC meet and greet, what time was that?
That was at 10:30.
10:30. And y'all went to MUSC over here in Winsboro. Did y'all feel the need to come back to Fairfield County and send Ms. Roberts to Blythewood to the Grouchos to spend $58
Want to answer that?
of taxpayer money when y'all was already out and y'all could have bought your own meal?
That, I can respond or I can't, or, you tell me it's not an appropriate time to respond, but I can if you,
Okay, if you can, just there.
it was I have a statement to read about that. Now, should I read my statement?
You can, go ahead.
Okay. All right. So I know what you're trying to imply, and I know what you've been doing behind the scenes. So I'm gonna read this statement about what the behavior and my issues with it. On several occasions, Councilman Pauly has informed me that he has individuals on my staff watching and regularly reporting to him on everything I do and every move that I make. And this obviously continues. I took his comments and this practice as an attempt to make me feel both unsafe, unwelcome, and unable to build trust with my new team as county administrator. It appears that Councilman Pauly is advocating and supporting staff members being paid while monitoring the county administrator instead of conducting their duties, and I disagree with this practice. I understand the power and role of organizational culture and organizational trust, and I'm learning more about the organizational culture that I inherited daily. I would have hoped that Mr. Pauly, out of respect for my role, would have encouraged staff not to police their leader, but ask questions about things they do not understand. The facts are simple. There are no secret meetings or violations of county policy that Mr. Pauly can or has cited. I simply scheduled a working lunch immediately after our hospital tour that included staff, the chair and the vice chair, and I'm very thankful for their leadership, guidance, and support. The meeting was scheduled to discuss a debrief of the meeting with the emergency room leadership, capital projects needs funding, and the agenda for our first reception meeting at our new complex since the meeting was scheduled. The meeting started at 12, the lunch hour, and I provided lunch. The same practice that was used to purchase meals during the budget workshop. So I'm not going to work in fear of my own staff reporting my every move. If you can tell me a policy that I violated,
Well,
that's a different.
I don't think nobody's policing you.
You have been
But I
policing.
think when you're already out, you can stop and pay for your
This
own.
meeting was already scheduled.
This
meeting was already.
Y'all are easy to spend taxpayers' money.
Okay.
And you can buy your own meals. But
I would like to say that basically when you do the business of this county, when you take a look at future needs and you analyze those together as a committee, we're doing the work of Fairfield County. So, if I understand that you have issues with what we do, and I think maybe some additional training would be necessary so you understand your role and relationship to this council.
Ms. Green, you spent $4,100 of taxpayer money. If anybody needs additional training, it's you.
Well, why don't you drive me to meetings all of the time? I live at Watery. You want to know how many miles that is?
Well,
Can you calculate that?
You got on council.
I was elected just as you were.
Didn't have to run.
I was elected.
I tell you what,
Elected.
That's all I have.
that's
Elected.
that's it. Okay, any other discussion? We're now down to clerk to council report. None. County council time. Anyone? Okay, if no one have county council time, we're down to the executive session. Can we get a motion to go into executive session?
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
It's been moved and second that we go into executive session. Items A, receipt of legal advice regarding personnel claims pursuant to South Carolina Code. Item B, receipt of legal advice regarding pending lawsuit regarding county roadway pursuant to South Carolina Code. Item C, receipt of legal advice regarding potential disclosure of exempt records pursuant to South Carolina Code. Thank you. It is now 7:03. Are you ready to Are you ready to vote? All in favor, aye? Opposers, nay. Okay, let the record show 7-0 going into executive session, going into executive session, 7:03.
Yes, thank you. Green.
Don't give me a check now. This guy's called me. It's made payable. What? Oh, let me get back, because I have to find out from her. That's, power and change. Power and change.
Let's talk tomorrow.
For mine, that's.
I'm saying, you're the last one, right?
Yeah, yes.
Yeah. Where you going, back there?
Yeah. That blue bag. That's the right one. Straight. I got it in the yard by 6 o'clock this morning. I was out there 5 minutes was soaking wet. Yeah. Full protocol. That's it. Yeah, you got good amount.
Gotta write it down, something hard.
Yeah, that's it. But you know, okay.
It is now, it is now 7:54. Can we get a motion to come out of executive session?
So moved. Second.
Okay, no action taken in executive session. Are you ready to vote? All in favor coming out of executive session? Aye.
Aye.
Opposers, nay? Okay, um, all voted coming out of executive session. It is now 7:54. Prior to any other discussion, we do have a matter that's concerning one of the, that could be a conflict of interest, with one of the, council members. So we need to, for him to recuse himself, and that is, Mr. Neil Robinson. But that's you decide, and I think the clerk of the council have to provide, let the minutes show that Mr. Robinson, you want to go ahead and say it? Or do you need to say it? Okay. Okay, you need to sign the paperwork that he's recusing himself. And that he has left the meeting. Okay, okay, anything else before council?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion that we award a former employee the amount of $50,000 to settle a claim.
I second.
It's been moved in second. Any discussion? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposers, nay. Let the record show 7-0. 6-0, I'm sorry.
Motion to adjourn, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
It's been moved in second that we adjourn. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposers? We now stand adjourned. It is 7:56.
Right.